After more than 3 weeks of intense negotiations, Sudan and South Sudan have reached a landmark border security and oil production deal that will restart the flow of oil exports. Presidents Omar al-Bashir of Sudan and Salva Kiir of South Sudan signed the pact just a few hours ago in the Ethiopian capital, Addis Ababa. The agreement sets conditions for restarting oil exports and calls for forces on both sides to pull back to 10 kilometers to create a demilitarized border zone. But the pact is only a partial deal. Other conflicts include the hotly disputed Abyei and oil-rich al-Khalij region remain unresolved. The United Nations has threatened both countries with sanctions if they do not settle their issues. Now, for more perspective on today's deal, we are joined on the phone from the Ethiopian capital, Addis Ababa, by Arop Deng, the South Sudanese ambassador to African Union and Ethiopia. Welcome, Ambassador.
Thank you, Makori.
Yes. Now give us a sense. That's Ambassador Deng on the line.
Yes, I'm with you.
Okay. Now tell us first. The deal looks like it's kind of partial. It's not complete. What was achieved today? First, tell us what was achieved in relation to the border, the shared border, and the oil issue.
First of all, thank you, Makori, for the VOA for your concerns on the issues of Sudan and South Sudan. Following the coming of the two presidents to capital Addis Ababa in Ethiopia on the 22nd, for the 5 days continuous negotiations on the border, they managed to agree on demilitarization of the 14 miles, which was one of the toughest issues that they have discussed, but they managed to demilitarize both sides 10 kilometers. They have agreed on the national banks corporations. They have agreed on the trade at the border. And the two presidents also agreed on the mechanism to solve the disputed and the claim areas, that have the mechanism that will follow in the few days that the lead team will try to talk on the disputed areas and the claim, which include Hijlich and other 5 disputed areas.
Now tell us about the Abyei and Hijlich areas. What prevents this particular part of the discussion to move forward, to get a resolution on these issues?
First of all, with the claim areas, Hijlich being one of the claim areas and the disputed, Bashir refused to discuss the claim areas for the last 4 days. But last night they managed to break through by saying, let us have a mechanism of resolving or making a wording how to resolve the claim and the disputed areas. And for Abyei, the African Union High Implementation Panel, President Mbeki, tabled a proposal of a referendum that will be conducted in October 2013 and asked the two presidents to form 3 institutions, the administration, the legislation, and the Abyei Referendum Commission. Whereas the Abyei Referendum Commission, the 2 countries should have contributed 2 members each, whereas the African Union appoint the chairman of the commission. This proposal was rejected totally by Omar al-Bashir, and there was no forward agreement between the 2 presidents. Then lastly, the president of South Sudan have proposed, since we have disagreed on the Abyei proposal that is tabled by the African Union, Mbeki, the president who is responsible for high implementation, should table this to the African Union Peace and Security in October, so that it is endorsed as the final solution for Abyei, and then the AU to implement with the UN.
Okay, thank you, Ambassador Deng. We will be watching the developments and hopefully come back to you one of these days for an update. Ambassador Deng is the South Sudanese ambassador to the African Union, and we thank him very much for joining us today here on In Focus.